Hi, and welcome, John Morris Show on a Thursday morning. Glad you are with us this morning, and we are brought to you every day by the Brazos Landing and by Alliance Bank Central Texas. Guest in studio. Oh, what an honor today to have Amy Lawrence with us. Welcome to you, number one.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. And Amy, maybe you know the name, maybe you know the face, maybe you've heard her on the air, ESPN Radio for 9 years.
For 9 years, and then CBS Sports Radio from 2013 to 2025.
Wow. Okay.
Now Sirius XM.
Now Sirius XM.
I'm running the gamut.
Is right, but and a move to Texas from the Northeast. And you're in Waco today, and we've been communicating, and I said, any way we could get you on with us, and you were very gracious, even after a drive up from Navasota, to be on with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's awesome to be here. I love your setup, this 365 Sports.
Isn't it nice?
It's a nice space. Very nice.
I take no credit for it, except for bringing a few pictures to add here, but it is
way
really
better than working from home, which a lot of people do now, right?
Exactly.
Setting up a studio mine is in a closet. My mom has an attic. I work in there, so this is special. It's a treat. I'm out of the house.
You're going to go somewhere where it's just good acoustics, right? When you got some sound deadening.
Lots of tricks.
Yeah.
Because, after 2020, a lot of people who work from home, it sounds like they're in their bathrooms or their kitchens because the sound is echoing off the walls. So I had an engineer teach me some tricks about putting up pillows and deadening the sound. But studio, way better.
Well, you've got a lot of tricks. I mean, having done that, so at ESPN Radio, you were on nights and overnights for a long time. And then After Dark on Infinity, which is CBS Sports Radio Network. Those were late night or overnight also. You spent how long? 22 years or so doing overnights?
I did. Overnights and late nights. And so the show that I left, After Hours with Amy Lawrence, that was from 1 to 5 a.m. Central Time. Now, the neat thing was, because of where we started and that it was network, when I began, it would be late night, so West Coast, or people who were driving and working overnight. But by the time I got to my final hour and a half, so 4:30 to 6 a.m. Eastern Time, it really became morning drive.
Oh, that's true.
Because in the bigger cities, more and more people would start to commute earlier. And obviously the pandemic pushed a lot of people out of big cities. But what I found was the people who went to bed the night before and didn't know what had happened in the sports world, they were tuning in to listen. And then I would leave New York City because I worked in Manhattan at 6 o'clock in the morning. And there was already a 40-minute backup to get into the city. So it really was like that, where the entire show featured a bunch of different people who are listening in different patterns and day parts.
That's wild. And then a national show, I mean, all the different time zones also, like it may be late night on the West Coast, which is the middle of the night on the East Coast. Did you ever get used to, working nights, doing it that many years?
I did. I actually did get used to it. And it took me quite a while when I left it in February of 25, right after the Super Bowl, to then find a new normal, if you will. But I'm still a night owl, so it's funny because my husband prefers to go to bed. If left to his own devices, 9 o'clock, 9:30, I tease him. I'm the one who can easily stay up until midnight, 1 o'clock without a thought. So I'm still a night owl, and I'm still working some evening shifts for Sirius XM, but they move me around. So it's a lot of different stuff now, but it took a while to break that.
All right. Yeah, I bet that's right. I can't imagine. So Sirius XM, we hear you on Mad Dog Radio, channel 82, a lot on the NFL network, also channel 88. Do they move you around any other stations, or is it pretty much those two channels? Those
two primarily. Connected with the College Sports Channel not that long ago, and they're interested in bringing me on board. But yeah, just hit my 1 year. So April 6th of 2025 was my first show on Sirius XM. It was crazy too, because it was the day that Alex Ovechkin set the all-time goals record in the NHL. And so that was awesome to be on the air when he did that. But right after that, the very next weekend, I'll never forget this, was the final Sunday of the Masters. So my second show was Rory McIlroy, and remember, he was leading, and then he faded back and he was down by 2 strokes, and then he came back to win. So those are my first 2 shows on Sirius XM.
That is wild. And going back to ESPN days, I read a story. You were on the air. It was a Sunday night baseball game, I think, when Osama bin Laden was captured and killed, and you broke in and you delivered that news on the network.
That was the highlight of my radio career. When people ask me, I think they expect a Super Bowl or a Final Four or some major sports event. But it was one of those moments that I was really thankful for my news background. So when I left Syracuse, got my master's, I did my first 5 years in news. News paid the bills. Sports was volunteer until I broke into full-time sports. But it did teach me how to be a journalist, how to write, but also how to tell a story objectively. And those are invaluable skills. And so that May in what was 2011, remember it was 10 years after 9/11. And I remember we started to see breaking news alerts on the computer. So I'm in studio. They're in the early stages of this Sunday night baseball game. I have no idea who was playing because that part wasn't important. And we started to see these breaking news alerts, and initially it was one line, Osama bin Laden is dead. Like that was the only line. So they prepared me. As you can imagine, this was something we had to break in with. And I had about 30 seconds to get ready. They were going to come to me in a break in the action. So this wasn't even a break in between innings. This was, they're going to toss back to you in studio. They're going to have you toss back to them when you're done. And again, we really didn't know anything at that point. All we knew is that the White House was saying that we got him. We got Osama bin Laden. And as they prepared me and they're doing this countdown, I start to shake because it is such a big story. I don't want to mess this up, even though I just have one line. I have chills even telling the story. But to be able to break in and tell the American public that Osama bin Laden was dead after 10 years of hunting for him. And to understand too, we were a main channel broadcast. So sometimes ESPN has alternate broadcasts, but it was a main channel. So all of our stations across the network were carrying this one game. There was no other programming. And I've run into people since, John, who said to me, I heard the news from you.
Wow. How about that?
So over the course of the next 2 hours or so, we would get more information. We found out that people were celebrating all over the country. We saw the videos of people into the streets in DC and other places. And just to add to some of the details, every 2-3 minutes or so, they would mention it. Then they would toss back to me for any additional information. I'm telling you, I will never forget that moment as long as I live. To be able to share that with the American people was phenomenal.
And isn't that your training, your upbringing, your education at Syracuse? Doesn't it all sort of come together
the crescendo.
At a moment like that, doesn't it?
Yes, it really does. And so I tell my students, because I teach at Syracuse now, I tell them that, again, the time you spend, even if it's not what you want to do, because my last major news story before I jumped to full-time sports was, in fact, 9/11. So I jumped in 2002 to full-time sports, but I would never go back and change that because I was able to work through that event that was more significant than maybe any other event in our history going back to World War II. And to have that experience and that understanding of how people processed, and I was working in Oklahoma City at the time, so I did spend some time in Big 12 country before moving to the Northeast, but to be able to work in that arena, as I say, really prepares you to take a journalistic approach to whatever the story is. And there are some sports stories that we'll get, whether it's a controversy like what the NFL went through with domestic violence, and the number of players that were skating and not being called to, be held accountable for that. Whether it was, I don't know if you remember one night, it was middle of the night. That's why I won't forget it. Tony Stewart was involved. He's a NASCAR driver, longtime driver, involved in an accident at a track where a person died. And that story was breaking in the middle of the night. And then other events that aren't sports related. So I think it was 2 years ago, I was on the air, and in Baltimore, there was a bridge collapse. A barge had come through and had taken out the bridge that goes across the bay there in Baltimore, and the entire bridge was taken out. And so to deliver that news to our audience in Baltimore and DC, a lot of different ways that journalistic training and background come into play.
That's interesting. So on a much smaller level, I graduated from Baylor and I worked at KWTX TV here, Channel 10, the CBS affiliate. And when I started, I was in news because that was the job that was open. And I knew I wanted to do sports, but I got my foot in the door and I wouldn't trade that experience for anything, And then I did get to sports weekends and then weekdays and then came to Baylor.
Did you do them for free? Because initially I would do them for free until
have. I'm not going to tell them that, but I would have. But you're right. I mean, it sounds like a similar path there.
Yes.
And it was great training. And because even in sports, think about how now there are so many sports stories that are news stories also more and more every day.
That's true. You really do see the intersection a lot of times, but also we know that sports is a microcosm of real life, so to speak, is what I say, which means that these athletes are humans. The coaches are humans. They deal with real lives. I used to joke about the offseason in the NFL and the police blotter because something would always come up. Yeah. But you think about the amount of money now that even college athletes are dealing with, and there's no such thing as a separate life, your sports life and your real life. And social media has really changed the landscape too, because we're all access all the time now, even to the point where college athletes have a direct line and we're so involved, sometimes too much so. I believe we're kind of voyeurs as fans where we're involved in their personal lives too. It's become all consuming a lot of the time, not necessarily in a healthy way either. Right. So it's good to be able to navigate some of that and try to be positive and make it a little less icky, if you will.
That's true. Yeah, it can be too much for sure. Yeah. So you teach at Syracuse. You're a proud graduate of the Newhouse School of Broadcasting there. Yes. For folks who don't know, what a list. Is there a wall somewhere that has a picture of Bob Costas and Mike Tirico and all these guys that graduated from Syracuse?
There is actually a wall where there are portraits.
Really?
And just as cool, last summer in New York City, so we were still living in New Jersey and I was still working at the SiriusXM studios in Manhattan, there was a Syracuse get-together. It was an award show. And so not only did you have the Bob Costas who would show up and did the address, but guys like Ian Eagle and Noah Eagle. Marv Albert was there.
Oh my gosh.
He looks very different, of course, a little older and not working the same, but it was a who's who of broadcasting and everyone wearing orange, which is my favorite color.
Wow, that is so cool. I mean, I know some of those guys, cross paths with them. I think Ian Eagle is just the best. He is so good. And Sean McDonough's in that group.
He was there as well.
Right. How fun was that to get you all together?
It was a lot of fun, and they made us fit into a picture. So it was an orange background, I believe, or a Syracuse banner behind us, and we all had to cram in. And the director that I worked for at the Newhouse School, she's the sports director, she was in the picture, and I was in the picture. But the rest of it, all guys.
All men.
So it was nice to represent. Yes.
Very good. So you teach there, but you've moved to Texas.
Yes.
You're down Navasota, close to Navasota.
Culture shock. Yes.
A little bit different. But so are you going to continue to teach there, or could we get you at Baylor? Could we get you doing what you're doing at Syracuse to do at Baylor?
I would love.
How about that?
I would love to do that. Thank you for the promo. So even before John and I connected, I had reached out to the acting dean of the journalism department here at Baylor, and he actually told me that they are starting a sports media major in the very near future, is what he said. And so they told me that they would keep my information on file, which is great. But yes, this month, which this is a little insane, but I appreciate Syracuse for doing this. They're flying me back and forth every Monday. So on Sunday night, which was Easter, and I know you have your own Easter travel story about getting back from the tournament, right? So on Easter night, I was doing a show for SiriusXM. I got off the air at 11 o'clock Central. My flight was 6:30 the next morning out of Houston, but because of all the craziness over TSA, I was a little leery. So I got to my parking space near the airport at 3:45.
Okay.
So slept 2 hours, went to the airport and was thinking, okay, this is fine. I'm early enough. Thankfully, I have TSA pre-check because there were about 30 people in line, 4:15 in the morning. Yeah. There are 30 people at TSA pre-check. However, the standard screening line, John, had at least 300 to 400 people in it. It was wrapped up and down and out into the terminal. But I do want to say really quickly, because I think it's worth noting, not only is TSA kind of back in full force, there were law enforcement and ICE agents all over the terminal. And so I stopped to thank a few of them because we would still be in chaos at some of these airports if not for them.
Wow, how about that? And you made it back okay?
Yes, did make it back. I was stuck in Detroit.
Right.
No fault of my own, but just missed my connection. So I'd rather get stuck on the way home. I was nervous for about a month and a half, missing my class that first day. Did not want to do that.
Okay, so to answer the question, some people are thinking, why Navasota? Your husband has family that is in that area, and some right around here, like Temple.
Yes, actually. So my mom is in Magnolia. She's the closest one, and then a son in College Station.
Okay.
And so I'm learning all about A&M culture and Aggie culture. Right. However, my husband is a Longhorn. He would be really upset if I did not point that out, that he feels like he's in enemy territory.
Fair enough.
We have another son in Austin, and then also one in Stephenville. Yep. And then a lot of family in Temple. So the reason we moved is because both of our moms are 80-ish. And even though they're in great health, we're thrilled about that. We wanted to be closer to family and walk through this stage of their lives with them. And so we're pleased to be here, but it is true. I'm dealing with culture shock. So as a good New Hampshire girl, I love winter. And they had the best winter in the Northeast. It's slammed with snow. In fact, when I was coming back from Syracuse, Monday it snowed on my way to Syracuse. And then I stayed in Rochester overnight, flew in and out of Rochester, and it was snowing like crazy. Temps in the teens with the wind chills, and that's heaven to me. Love it, love it. And so, yes, I will admit I cried multiple times over the winter because it was 85 degrees at Christmas. So that's going to be the toughest.
Welcome to Texas.
Yes, and the thing is, people try to be empathetic, and then they say, oh, just wait. You haven't seen anything yet. And I think that's not helpful. But
I was going to say, you haven't been through a Texas summer yet, have you?
Well, I came to visit a few times with Mom. So I do know what it's like. Right. Yes, the summer that we were planning our wedding. So we got married in December because that was our compromise. If we're getting married in Texas, we're getting married in the winter. It's a gorgeous day, but through the course of the planning, was back here a few times in the summer and thought, I'll never live here. Never.
And here you are. Welcome to Texas.
Thank you.
Can you stay through break?
Of course.
Do you mind? Okay. You've got other things going on. We'll find out what those are here in Waco. But great to have Amy Lawrence with us on the show this morning, brought to you by the Brazos Landing, open today, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Great location right there on the river. You would like the Brazos Landing. And by Alliance Bank Central Texas, voted by Forbes 2025 Best in State Banks. 7 convenient locations around Central Texas to serve you better. And on the web, alliancebanktexas.com. Take a break. Back with more John Morris Show on a Thursday. Amy Lawrence, our guest in studio, and we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Zach Gelb. We're talking NFL and college football. Plus, we have some of the biggest interviews in sports media. You got to check out the Zach Gelb Show right here on 365 Sports, weekdays, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 to 3 p.m. Central. And make sure you subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/@ZachGelbShow.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
We're celebrating the declaration of deals at Allen Samuels in Waco. Right now, get $11,000 off a new Ram 1500 Lone Star, plus 2.9% for 72 months. Cash in on $11,000 off a new Ram 2500 Lone Star Crew Cab, or choose 0% for 36 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Feel secure with America's best full-size truck powertrain 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty at Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
Are you looking for top-shelf sports talk about the West Virginia Mountaineers, where you can get objective analysis, but with the passion of a fan? Well, look no further than right here at Couz's Corner. I am Justin Couz Walker, the host of Couz's Corner, and you can find my show on demand over at YouTube. Most shows are uploaded by 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also check out my live post-game reaction shows. My special guest interviews, you can find it all on YouTube at Couz's Corner. Go check it out.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people, from first accounts to business growth. They actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. And welcome back, John Morris Show on this Thursday morning inside the TFNB studios on historic Elm Avenue, where Amy Lawrence has found her way to our studios today.
Stumbled in.
Oh, this is so
Wait, what's
fun.
this? This looks like a radio studio.
It does. What's going on in here? Let's go find out. And here we are. So glad you made it here.
Thank you.
What's going on in Waco? What brings you to Waco today? You didn't come here just for this. I know
I did not, but I'm so glad it worked out. I actually have a bunch of young women in the industry that I mentor.
Yeah.
It's something that I didn't have when I was coming up in the business. And I had, of course, men that I admired in the business, but I really determined that after I made it to the network level, I wanted to help other young women. And so part of my teaching is trying to connect with people. Casey Busher, she graduated from Tech actually, and then went to Syracuse and got her master's. She's the one who connected me with Olivia at Syracuse because she was a more recent grad.
Nice.
I had been working with her for a few years just to help her in her career and trying to figure out some options for her. So she's speaking at a class here on campus and we're having breakfast because food is my love language. So anytime there's breakfast, so I'm looking for some good breakfast spots in the area.
All right.
Yes.
All right. We'll take suggestions and we'll give you suggestions. So food, yes. Winter, snow, yes.
Yes.
You've got a dog.
2 actually.
dogs, okay.
Yes, we have 2 dogs, a mini Aussie.
Yeah.
Her name is Daisy and she was my husband's when we got married.
Yeah.
So my adopted dog daughter. But recently, this is a crazy story. We were visiting family in Temple at Christmas of 24 and I had lost my older Aussie in February right after we got married in 24. Yeah, it was hard. She was 14.
Yeah.
She was my BFF. She got me through a really tough stretch in my life. And it took about 9 months before I was ready to adopt. And you go through some of these rescue agencies, and I swear they make you fill out an application that's 7 pages long. Sometimes it's $400 to $600. So I decided we're going to be in Temple. I'm going to run down to the Brazos County Animal Shelter and was able to, believe it or not, find a dog there.
Wow.
And so we adopted a dog in Texas at Christmas 24, took her to New Jersey for a year, and now she's back here. And since we moved back, this is nuts. One morning, she gets up early with my husband who works from home. She's dancing around. She's a crazy dog. So she's part Belgian Malinois, part Aussie cattle dog. So a nut. And she's dancing around. All of a sudden, I'm getting ready to wake up and I hear her throwing up. And I come out of the bedroom and the dog has collapsed.
Oh, no.
Really scary. So in 30 seconds, she went from crazy dog to can't stand up. So we freak out. We've not found a vet in the area. And so we lift her. She can't even stand up. We lift her into his truck. He takes off down the road. I'm calling about emergency hospitals. He is too. We get her to a place in Navasota. They really don't know what's wrong. So they recommend we take her to Texas A&M. Thank goodness it's a world-class animal hospital.
Sure.
I get her up there. By the time I get her up there, I guess she was moments away from dying.
Oh.
Yeah, they get her into the emergency room. So she's bleeding. The doctors see us coming as I'm carrying her up the stairs. And within 90 seconds, they've diagnosed her. She was in anaphylactic shock.
Oh my
Believe it or not,
gosh,
she had been bitten by either a bee or a spider or stung by a bee. And didn't know this. The dog stayed in ICU for 5 days. Had no idea dogs could be in ICU.
Right.
But I am grateful because they take really good care of her. And so after 5 days, we were able to bring her home. And now she's back to normal.
Oh.
Thank God they say they've never seen an animal have this happen to them twice. But yes, it's funny because my husband jokes, we paid $22 to adopt her and we thought she was our cheap dog, right? $22. Not anymore. Now she's our golden animal.
That's right. Wow. Well, that's a great place to go for care for any animal.
Yes, we were thankful.
Wow. So you are teaching at Syracuse. I found on the web. What is it? A blog? Amy Lawrence,
PXP.com.
Day by day. Right.
Yes.
And I found that and looked through that and found some interesting notes that you may share in your class, right? The 12 things to keep in mind, which are good. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I need this. I need to be in your class. No, but they're really good. Like here they are, folks. And this is a good, here's a master's course right now in broadcasting.
My 12 lessons learned from 12 years and after hours.
That's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Number 1, criticize actions and choices, not people. Very nice. Redemption stories always resonate. They do.
Well, you think about it, and 2 you're obviously immersed in college hoops. The great story of that is when UVA became the first ever 1 seed to lose to a 16 in the men's tournament. And then it's devastating and it's humiliating. And a year later, they come back and they win the championship. Talk about redemption. Of course, also as believers and as Christians, we believe in redemption. So I love those stories where you get that payoff at the end after failure, right? You fall flat on your face.
That's true. So that Tony Bennett staff, Virginia, Ron Sanchez, his number 2 guy, assistant at Baylor right now.
Oh,
Ron
amazing.
Sanchez.
Brings a great background there. Tony Bennett's terrific.
Know your audience. That's good. Life would be incredibly boring and stale if we all agreed.
Right?
That's pretty good.
Yes, it's okay to disagree. People sometimes apologize for disagreeing with me. Actually, I prefer that because there's no such thing as, one opinion that we all share. That's just not real life. So
that's good. That's a very good one. It's fine to admit I don't know, or I say I was wrong.
Yes.
That's a very good one. I'll say it all the time. I just don't know. So nothing wrong with that at all. Connection is the ultimate goal. I like that, to connect with your audience.
In 2020, when I was doing shows for 2.5 months from my spare bedroom, staring into a corner, right? And I couldn't go into the studios and there were no sports going on. I realized what humans and what listeners most care about is a connection and a companionship. And I tell my students this now too, as I try to teach them how to stand out in a crowded field. It doesn't matter as much what you talk about. So I could have the most brilliant sports analysis, but there's going to be someone who played the game and can give you something that's more in depth. But if people like you, or on the converse, they hate you, either way, if you make some kind of a connection with the listener, they will keep coming back. And it's more about that relationship than it is about what you say.
Yeah, love that. That's really good. You say, do not stick to sports. That's good.
Right? We're not so one-dimensional, any of us, that we only live, sleep, eat, breathe sports. It's just not real life. So during the pandemic as well, I had a grandmother who was 98. How many of us were separated from our loved ones? And then not only did she survive that, but we celebrated her 100th birthday in 2022.
Wow.
And so to walk through that with people and understanding that, again, we're all human beings, we're grandkids, we're brothers, sisters, friends, parents, dog lovers, that kind of thing.
Wow, very good. Another one is there's no shortcut to experience. That's true.
You just got to walk through it.
Social media is not real life. There you go. That's
it's not
really
social. It actually divides us. And it's not real media, though right now it does a pretty good job trying to disguise itself as media.
That's a good one to keep in mind. Take time off. That's always good. Get a break, refresh.
You may remember when you were first in the business, when you were younger, it felt like you couldn't take time off because something big was going to happen when you were gone, or someone else was going to come along and take your job. But what I realized and what I try to tell young people that I mentor is if you never take time off, A, you don't appreciate what you have. B, your brain, your mind, your body can never recharge. But also, and this is the example I use, I went on a cruise 2008 maybe. And I was gone for about 2 weeks and I was nervous because at the time I was working at ESPN radio and I thought they're going to move on without me. I'm going to miss something. In our stateroom on the ship, we had a couple of channels. One of them was ESPN. The entire 10 days, nothing but will Brett Favre retire or will he go back to the Packers? Right. So I was gone that entire time and the story didn't change. And so what I realized is, kind of like Ecclesiastes says, there's nothing new under the sun. Eventually, even if you do miss something big, you'll get your opportunity. It's better to take the time off.
That's really good. That's some sage advice there. And the final one is choose your battles. That's pretty good also.
Yeah. Best advice I was ever given is choose your battles, because not all of them are worth fighting. Not all of them are worth expending the energy. And again, I say this to a lot of young people about social media. You cannot win as a public figure. You cannot win a battle on social media. It's impossible. Yeah. So don't waste your time and energy going after people or trying to state your case with people who actually don't care. And all they're looking for is a reaction out of you. And this business is tough. I mean, radio, TV, it's shrinking. There are fewer people doing more of the work. And so knowing how much we give to this business, that it can be all consuming, especially in sports, I do believe that it's better to let other people wage the battle around you. And when it's worth, like the hill that's worth dying on, when you get to one of those, then you spend that energy. But otherwise, most of what we argue over in 24 hours is
exactly.
Poof, it's gone.
Well, that's great. Thanks for letting me audit your class.
Of course. I love this. Now you can really do me a solid on campus and let them know.
Well, I'm going to do that. And how about this? If things were to work out, if the Lord were to leave you here, and I love that you're a believer and I love that you live that out. Thank you very much for that. But if you were to be on staff at Baylor, you would just love it, because not only is it accepted, it's encouraged at Baylor, and that's who we are at Baylor University, and you would fit in so well.
Thank you. Well, really, as you know, most of our industry conflicts directly with faith. And so we have to make those tough choices.
Right.
I do believe that God gives us platforms so that we can be light and salt, even if we're not overtly sharing our faith, which I know you and I have talked about, the ability to pray on the air when an athlete goes down or suffers an injury. But if nothing else, we're glorifying God. And I use the blog a lot of time to share my story behind the scenes. And every now and then I'll drop in a Bible verse, like, to whom much is given, much is required, something along those lines. But yes, God gives us the platform and gives us the opportunity to glorify him.
Amy Lawrence, PXP.com is where it is. So you can see more there. And hopefully we see you more in the future.
Yes,
okay?
I would love that. Easy commute.
Easy commute from Navasota, she says. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy your time here, and we'll stay in touch. Thank you to Mark Kestisher, who connected us.
That's right. He's the best.
Great.
First day at ESPN Radio, I met him, and we've been fast friends ever since.
Isn't he the best, though?
He is.
Mark is such a good guy.
The big voice.
Yes, very much so. Great to meet you in person, and thanks for being here. We appreciate your time. Enjoy the day in Waco.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Amy Lawrence, our guest this morning. We'll take a break. Back with more in a moment. Brought to you by the Brazos Landing and by Alliance Bank. Here, read this.
Yes.
I want you to read this right here. This one, Lake Waco Golf Club.
I love to golf.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Do that live liner.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18 regulation golf course, plus an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. The bar and grill is open to the public. Check them out at lakewacogc.com.
Never better.
My audition.
There you go. Never better. The live read for Lake Waco. Thanks for being with us. We'll take a break and be right back.
We're celebrating the Declaration of Deals at Allen Samuels in Waco. Right now, get $11,000 off a new Ram 1500 Lone Star, plus 2.9% for 72 months. Cash in on $11,000 off a new Ram 2500 Lone Star Crew Cab, or choose 0% for 36 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Feel secure with America's best full-size truck powertrain 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty at Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
The Pete Souza Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. You want to talk NFL draft? I don't know. How about we get you Todd McShay? You want to talk Big 12? We can get you the commissioner. Somebody about the Cowboys? How about we have on the owner, Stephen Jones? Pop culture? Michelle Beadle. I mean, we will bring on the people that you want to hear from. And these people don't join us because of me. They join us because of you. You got to watch this show, okay? It's got everything you need. Sports, hijinks, laughs. Did I mention hijinks? We'll see you on the Pete Souza Show. Now, we are under the 365 Sports umbrella. Check it out. I'm wearing a Tulane shirt. No idea why.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Looking for football talk without the fluff? It's Down and Dirty with Scott Mitchell, a former NFL quarterback breaking down the game from the inside, plus real conversations about sports, leadership, life, and everything in between. No hot takes for clicks, just honest analysis, strong opinions, and stories you won't hear anywhere else. Football talk and more, the way it's supposed to be. Subscribe now to Down and Dirty with Scott Mitchell on YouTube.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that great?
That was awesome, yeah.
I mean, it's like a it's like a master's course in broadcasting. I mean, everything she's done, 9 years at ESPN Radio and 13 years at CBS Sports Radio. And then she leaves that to move to Navasota, Texas for her family and for her husband. How about that?
It's really remarkable. I liked how she talked about mixing the news, like, and how important that is, and mixing it with, especially now, everything is just bleeding into each other. So I think that was a really valid point that she brought up. Also, like that, like, as a father of a daughter, I like how she's wanting to put an emphasis on helping women in the industry and grow. So I think those are very important and essential skills that she's bringing to the world.
She's a real role model, I know, to a lot, and especially a lot of women. So really appreciate the time with Amy Lawrence in studio with us this morning. We are also brought to you by, and my read won't be as good as hers, but we're brought to you by Tow King of Waco. That is Gary Hoffman. Tow King is here to help the next time you're stuck on the road, a locally owned and family-run business. Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with highly trained operators. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. We're also brought to you by DeCampley's. Oh, Italy meets Texas at DeCampley's every day in a warm and authentic setting. Lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, and off-menu specials on Fridays and Saturdays. DeCampley's in Waco, serving the best authentic Italian dishes. So the way the connection came about was, and I'm not name dropping, but Mark Kestisher is probably the top play-by-play guy for ESPN Radio, does a ton of things football, basketball, NBA, everything. And Mark texted me one time and said, hey, friend of mine is moving to Texas. Would you mind visiting with her to try to help her get connected? And I said, absolutely, I'd love to. Who is it? And he said, it's Amy Lawrence. And I said, oh my gosh, yes, I'd love to visit with Amy Lawrence. So we talked once on the phone, and then she's done a ton of play-by-play also. So a lot of this, with ESPN Radio overnights and CBS Sports Radio was hosting a talk show, but she's done a ton of play-by-play also. And I said, man, if we had a job, I would offer you a job today, like today. So we'll keep our ear to the ground, try to find something there, see if we can collaborate and work together on some things and get her more Baylor ingrained if that's a possibility. And man, if we could get her doing a class or classes on the Baylor campus, I think that would be just terrific. That would be huge, and it would be a real plus for our communications area. So that's how it started. Thanks to Mark Kestisher for that. And thanks to Amy for making it work today. A couple of other things to mention to you. Baylor baseball is on the road to Cincinnati. Actually, they leave tomorrow. No, they're leaving today. They play at Cincinnati, a 3-game series this weekend. Baylor softball dropped a 5-4 decision to UT Arlington yesterday. Had a 4-1 lead in that game, and then lost the game by a run 5-4. They are now off to Lawrence, Kansas. They'll play KU, a 3-game series, 5 o'clock tomorrow, 2 o'clock on Saturday, and noon on Sunday. All the games, like the baseball games, on the Baylor Sports Media Network. So keep up with baseball and softball out of town this weekend. Track and field hosting the Baylor Invitational. That is tomorrow, a one-day event. Jerry Hill was here with us yesterday. He told us about that and the benefits of a one-day event compared to 2 long days. So smaller field, but that is tomorrow at the Clyde Hart Track and Field Stadium. And the Masters is underway. Round 1 of the Masters. Johnny Kiefer was the first man to tee off this morning, the Baylor grad who is there at the Masters. And during a break, I'll check and see what he's doing so far. Or Garrett, if you want to check on that. But Johnny Kiefer is on the course right now, round 1 of the Masters underway. And our man Johnny Kiefer is right there in the mix as they throw up. The early rounds are on ESPN Plus right now. And this 100-inch screen over here to my left.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
Yeah, I do like that. I see a chair over there with my name on it.
Just post up Wasabi all day, Jay.
Yeah.
We'll just take this
So
in.
they're running a scoreboard right now. Let's see if Johnny.
He is tied for 27th right now.
All right. What's his score? Does it show?
He is +2.
Okay. Not all bad. +2, early going. Johnny Kiefer, first round at the Masters today. We'll keep you updated on that and him. One other note, and it is a very sad note, and in fact, just a tragic note. Many of you remember Melissa Jones, who played basketball here at Baylor. She was here 2007 to 2011. She was a real fan favorite. Her personality, just bubbly, and the type of player she was, so much energy, left it all on the court. She was the 2011 Big 12 Conference Female Sports Person of the Year. Tremendous honor. Her jersey, her number 5 jersey, retired by Baylor at the end of her playing career. Then she actually played 1 year of volleyball after her basketball eligibility was up. Then worked with Baylor in development, in advancement for a few years. So we would cross paths there during that time. She had been back in Colorado. She was from Colorado originally. And she passed away this past Friday. So the news began spreading just yesterday, but there she is. If you remember Melissa, if you were watching women's basketball at any point during that time, you'll remember Melissa Jones, because she was a huge part of the success for Coach Mulkey and the Bears during that time. So prayers continued for her family, and just a tragic, tragic loss of Melissa Jones, who passed away on Friday. We'll take a break and be right back.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
The Pete Souza Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. You want to talk NFL draft? I don't know. How about we get you Todd McShay? You want to talk Big 12? We can get you the commissioner. Somebody about the Cowboys? How about we have on the owner, Stephen Jones? Pop culture? Michelle Beadle. I mean, we will bring on the people that you want to hear from. And these people don't join us because of me. They join us because of you. You got to watch this show, okay? It's got everything you need. Sports, hijinks, laughs. Did I mention hijinks? We'll see you on the Pete Souza Show. Now, we are under the 365 Sports umbrella. Check it out. I'm wearing a Tulane shirt. No idea why.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports,
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
We're celebrating the Declaration of Deals at Allen Samuels in Waco. Right now, get $11,000 off a new Ram 1500 Lone Star, plus 2.9% for 72 months. Cash in on $11,000 off a new Ram 2500 Lone Star Crew Cab, or choose 0% for 36 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Feel secure with America's best full-size truck powertrain 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty at Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
This year, I made a New Year's resolution. I want every business to own a new copier from CTWP. Call me, Leroy the Copier Dog. Let's get you a copier delivered today. CTWP, your local copier company.
Looking for football talk without the fluff? It's Down and Dirty with Scott Mitchell, a former NFL quarterback breaking down the game from the inside, plus real conversations about sports, leadership, life, and everything in between. No hot takes for clicks, just honest analysis, strong opinions, and stories you won't hear anywhere else. Football talk and more, the way it's supposed to be. Subscribe now to Down and Dirty with Scott Mitchell on YouTube.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. And welcome back, John Morris Show on a Thursday morning. What a treat to have Amy Lawrence in studio with us today. Really fun to visit with her, get to know her a little bit better, and I'm going to make some calls on her behalf.
as soon as I get to my office today. Would be tremendous to have her around Baylor a little more often. But great to visit with her. Update on Johnny Kiefer. He is +2. He is on the 13th hole right now. As Garrett said, still in well, actually, now he's tied for 29th place, but very early on, +2, playing the 13th hole, first round of the Masters in Augusta. So it'll be fun to watch and follow and keep up with Johnny Kiefer, the former Baylor great. Go to masters.com and click on leaderboard, and you can keep up with him and lots of other options to keep up with the first round of the Masters. All right. Mentioned earlier this week, our coaches show tonight. That is 6 to 7 p.m. live from Rudy's. And Felicia Mulkey will be our guest for the entire hour tonight. A little bit different. Normally we have two coaches who split the hour, but Casey Maxwell was scheduled with Coach Fee, and Casey with Equestrian. They have finished their season. Unfortunately, they didn't advance to the NCEA championships, and we had her on 3 weeks ago right before the Big 12s. And so I gave her the option. I said, I'd love for you to be there and we can wrap up your season, or I'm giving you an out if you would like an out. And she said, well, if it doesn't put you in a bind, I'll take it. And I said, sure, no problem. And again, I thought I'd have lots of options of plugging somebody in that spot. And I went one by one. They were all, no, can't, no, out of town. So I thought, Coach Fee always seems like 30 minutes is too short with her. So we're going to spend the entire hour with Felicia Mulkey tonight talking acrobatics and tumbling, best program in the world. They have completed their regular season, did so with a win over Oregon the other night, and now on to the NCAA National Championships. So that's what we've got tonight, 6 to 7 p.m., live from Rudy's for the Baylor Coaches Show. We like to share birthdays with you, and here are the ones that I've got for April 9th. It is Frank Ditta's birthday, former All-American offensive lineman for the Bears, now a painter extraordinaire. Frank, Renaissance man, lived in Australia for a long time. I'm not sure if he's still there. I would see him periodically back at a Baylor game, and as far as I know, he may still be there in Australia. So happy birthday across the miles to Frank Ditta. It is Ward White's birthday today, Ward, at our flagship station. How about that? Happy birthday to Ward White's today. Charles Dixon's birthday. Happy birthday to him. Paul Carr at one point ran KWBU, the campus radio station. Happy birthday to Paul. And Maddie Reed's birthday, big Baylor fan. Happy birthday to Maddie. Scott Beckwith's birthday is today. Also, I think statute of limitations is passed enough to say Scott Beckwith was at one time bruiser. He was really? Bruiser. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. And so as such, we would be in the same place at the same time a lot. And it was fun to know the man behind the bear head that was Bruiser. So good guy, big Baylor fan. Happy birthday to Scott Beckwith today. So that's all I've got. If we missed you, I do apologize. We're going to move out of here, make room for other shows that are coming up top of the hour. And we do appreciate you tuning in this morning. We're here every morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Central Time. That's live on YouTube, on Facebook, on X, live streaming during the hour. But the beauty of it is also archived on those platforms any time of the day that works for you. We would love for you to tune in when you can and subscribe and follow. We would appreciate that as well. So thank you very much. Steve Campbell is tuned in again today, as he is every day. So appreciate everyone that tunes us in here every day, Monday through Friday, from the historic Elm Avenue TFNB studios. Thanks to Brandon and Garrett behind the scenes. A real pleasure to have Amy Lawrence on with us, formerly ESPN Radio Overnights, formerly After Dark with Amy Lawrence on CBS Sports Radio. I mean, those are national shows she did for over 2 decades. And how about her story of breaking the news when Osama bin Laden was killed? How about that?
That's remarkable. That's one, like you hope to get opportunities in your career for that to kind of like fall in her lap at that time. And for her to just capitalize on it, that is remarkable.
Yeah, absolutely. She said biggest story and biggest thing she'd ever done in broadcasting. How about that? She's covered Super Bowls and all those things.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it also shows like that mesh and her background and being able to have that experience to not even flinch in that moment and just carry it.
That's it. That's exactly right. And like I said, everything you've done up to that point prepared you for that, and she delivered like the pro that she is. So very fun to have Amy Lawrence on with us. Thanks to her for her time. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back 9 to 10 a.m. hour Central Time. We'll check in again with Ty Atterbury, as we've done the last few weeks. Ty is a former Baylor punter who is somewhere out in the Atlantic. He is cruising across the Atlantic. It's not a cruise ship. It's his boat, the Waymaker, but making his way to the British Virgin Islands. And through Starlink, he's got Wi-Fi internet connection, and we've been able to check in with him and see what he has seen, get some nice views that you're only going to get if you're out in the middle of the ocean. He did text me yesterday. I was confirming that he could be with us Friday, and he said, we've seen a couple of boats. And it was like,
finally spotted some.
Yeah, it was like pretty excited. We saw a couple of boats.
So, we're not alone out here.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll catch up with Ty Atterbury and more coming up tomorrow, 9 to 10 a.m. Hope you can join us then. Thanks for being with us today. Have a great day. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. John Morris Show, presented by Alliance Bank Central Texas and by the Brazos Landing. Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
At DeCampli's Italian Ristorante, we are committed to providing an authentic Italian experience. Through exceptional service, delicious food, and a family environment, we want our guests to create memories that they will want to share with their family and friends. Open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Make your reservation today. Check us out on Facebook and at decampleys.com.
My name is David Maddox, owner of Waco Foundation Repair. I've been in business right at 20 years, incorporated since 2003, and nonstop, very busy business to be in. We stay plenty busy with this good old Central Texas ground that constantly moves and does its thing. If you think you have foundation repair issues, call Waco Foundation Repair today.
The Riesel Fair is back and bigger than ever. Bring the whole family for a day packed with fun, from thrilling rides, delicious food, local vendors, and live music Friday night. Saturday music begins at 2 p.m. Admission is $5 for adults, 2 to 12 years $3, 2 and under are free. Mark your calendar and join us for the Riesel Fair, May 7th through 9th. The Riesel Fair, where memories are waiting just for you.
Spring is sprung, and now's a great time to schedule a checkup for your vehicle. As Texas weather changes, it's important to make sure you and your loved ones are safe on the road. Request an appointment online at CompleteCarCareCenter.com today. We're equipped to handle all major and minor repairs on your vehicle. Our experienced technicians can check the health of your tires and inspect your vehicle for any unseen issues. Kish Complete Car Care Center at 5300 Franklin, where we take pride in keeping individuals safe honestly.